Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while since I put a video up. So this is the first thing we're going to look at. This is my Schnabel car, 380-ton Schnabel car by Bachmann Spectrum. Recently purchased with transformer load. When I got it, it was real light. So I decided to go get some automotive sticky weights for the wheel balancing. I took the transformer load apart and gave it some weight. She pulls really good now. Had her on the track, tested her out. She pulls beautiful. Next up is this little thing here. This is my Baltimore, Ohio 282 Light Mikado. Had to rebuild her. First generation Tsunami Sound, Broadway Limited. The gears were cracked, and thus she wouldn't run right. I sent it to a guy, or I let a guy have it so he could fix it. And after about a month of dicking around, he gave it back to me and said, sucks to be you. Have a good day. Next up, move this box here. Next up, I got a GP38-2. It is a road slug. Basically, I take that back. It's not a road slug. It's a dummy unit. It's old Athearn blue box. Thought it's pretty cool because of this right here. Operation Red Block, Tampa Division. Now, I got that. I'm not a big CSX fan by any means. I know it's sacrilege because I'm a chassis guy. This here goes with this. And this, my good fellow YouTubers, is my SD40. Now, it is not a -2. Notice the vent behind the dynamic brakes is missing. And this one is Operation Red Block as well. Baltimore Division. So, it was unique. So I got it. I have a little CSX manifest I run. And in my little fictional world, CSX is a regional railroad. Never made it big. Completely separate from chassis. Now, move this out of the way. Move that out of the way. Here's an old Athearn blue box that I heavily weathered. It's an old SD40-2. I've had for years. The motor died in it, so I made it a dummy. And all the weathering has been done with chalks, pastels. There's no paint on it. I figured it looks pretty cool. So I did that. That will run with a couple other things that I will show you later. Now here is my first generation, one of them, Athearn Ready to Run SD50s. It's the only CNO motor I got. It's been repowered with the Athearn Genesis motor board. It's DCC ready, which I have DCC equipped in it. Still having trouble with the lights. This one is a unique motor. This is the last motor that was ever purchased on the B&O side of chassis. 8595. This is also an original run of Athearn Ready to Run DCC ready locomotives. I bought that one and the 8553 CNO motor at the same time back in, I want to say 07. These things are ancient. They've been discontinued for years. Still love them though. I'll never get rid of them. Next ones I'm going to show you are my newest Athearn Ready to Run SD50s, DCC and Economy sound equipped. These here are beautiful running locomotives. They have more detail on them, as you can see, than the original Athearn Genesis. They're a little dusty. They need to be cleaned. But that's fine for now. But these things are amazing. The sound quality on them is great. I love the Economy. I was very impressed with it. I was impressed with the pulling power. These things are top-notch motors. Can't say enough good things about Athearn, and they're ready to run with the Economy sound in them. I have 4 of them. This is 8577. Right there's 8579, 8584, and 8592. All of them are factory equipped with DCC Economy sound by Athearn Ready to Run. Beautiful locomotives. Now here's some weird ones. Okay, if you have noticed, you'll recognize paint job. You'll also notice that the road name is different. These are Virginia Eastern SD40-2s, high hoods. They have been converted from Southern Railway to Virginia Eastern because Southern Railway's merger with Norfolk Western never went through in my fictional universe. Right before leaving the factory, the story goes, they were converted to short hood forward. And the only difference is the cab control is just swapped around to where it's facing short hood forward instead of long hood. Virginia Eastern did not like that. Problem is, never took off the F that designates the front of the locomotive. And also, Virginia Eastern adds snowplows to the long hood and the short hood of both these motors. These are great pulling locomotives. They are Economy sound equipped with DCC. Here comes number 2. This is the second one, set up the same way. Interesting locomotives. Now, Virginia Eastern has acquired a few tunnel motors. Here's an example of one. These are SD40T-2s. I'm not a big fan of them because of the ditch lights. I don't model ditch lights. But the Virginia Eastern is trying them out with the ditch lights to see if it actually improves crew safety and visibility when they're operating in the mountains, pulling the coal drags. Depends on how they go. They might end up just being used as helpers to help get the train up the hills. Cool thing is, if you can tell, Athearn did a really good job on the radiator grates. The gear tower in the rear truck is almost invisible. Did an awesome job. This one is also Economy sound equipped with DCC. Now, I have scale trains, SD40-2s. This one I bought DCC and sound equipped. It's a Riv Counter series. Extremely pleased with it. Extremely pleased with it. One of the best running motors I got. Now, pardon me, I'm doing this with my cell phone. And I'm trying to undo the box here, one-handed. I gotta set you down for a second. And voila. 7600, the first locomotive in the series. Chassis only had 20 of these. It's got the sanders, the chain for the handbrake, all the detail pieces you want that come with it from the factory, front snow plows. It's got the Loke Sound version 4.0 in this one, from what I believe. Not 100%. I do know, however, the next one I'm going to show you has Loke Sound 5.0. I know this because I installed it. This one. I bought this from a guy on eBay. Me and him talk every so often still. And I wanted to show him that I bought this locomotive. I've installed the Loke Sound version 5.0 in it. DCC. And she is just beautiful. Both these locomotives have that true color paint, which means the paint was matched to the prototype, the actual prototype paint codes for chassis system from the factory. These are awesome locomotives. They pull amazing. The class lights work. They got green, white, red, and off. The number boards light up. Headlights dim and bright. Just amazing locomotives. Scale Trains has really set the bar on these. Now, the last one I'm going to show you, okay, because I'm not digging out my GP30s, that would be pointless, is this. Ooh, what's in this box? I will show you. I'm going to grab this box. It's my George Bush 4141. This was donated to the President Bush Library Museum from Union Pacific Railroad. This is the only, and I will repeat this, the only piece of modern equipment I have. I will not run anything this new. I don't like running anything this new. I don't like ditch lights. But this thing is just a gem. It's got the MU cables up there, MU hoses. I've only ran this once. This is my display piece. It is just a stellar, gorgeous locomotive. First president I was alive and consciously able to remember hearing talk on TV and sitting there on the couch with my grandfather, who has since passed away, watching the first Gulf War and seeing Papa Bush talk. So this is my main motors. These are all the motors I have right now at this time. I figured I'd show them off for a little bit for you. Now, I am building my trains. I'm currently working on a second coal train. The individual I bought, number 7607, the Scale Trains SD40-2. The second one I showed you. I am ordering the coal cars from him. I order about 6 at a time. And I am basically just sick and tired of having too many motors, not enough rail cars. But this car here, back to this 380-ton Schnabel car. This is a train all in itself. I ain't running too much with it because of one fact. This thing is a pain in the butt to put on the rail. It's got 16 trucks. There's 4 there, 4 there, 4 and 4. 32 axles on one car. That is one train in itself. Alright, good night. See y'all later.